stand up, yeah. Stand up, stand up, stand up, yeah.
The hit movie Inception has a lot of people talking about dreams. What if you could actually control the images you see when you go to sleep? According to sleep experts, you may have more say over your dreams and your nightmares than you think. Here's Linda Vaccaro from WNBC, our station here in New York.
In the box office smash Inception, a highly skilled thief invades people's dreams.
You create the world of the dream. We bring the subject into that dream, and they feel it with their subconscious.
But controlling dreams isn't just box office fantasy. 9-year-old New Yorker Mark Sutter learned to do just that after suffering the same nightmare for a year and a half.
Someone was chasing me and trying to kill me, like during my dreams.
Mark asked his parents, Diana and Rob, for help when the lack of sleep affected his schoolwork.
He would panic right before it was time to go to sleep.
I was scared, and sometimes I would wake up sweating, screaming.
Mark went to see Dr. Shelby Harris, who runs the behavioral sleep medicine program at New York's Montefiore Medical Center. She believes it's possible to influence your dreams.
Essentially, it's a way of giving yourself control over the nightmares that you're having.
Dr. Harris uses a technique called imagery rehearsal therapy, or IRT. Until now, it's been used mostly with adults suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, but a recent study shows it also works with children.
I teach people to take the nightmare they have and then to change it any way they want. And then you imagine that changed dream in your head. And you picture it. And I usually have patients do it twice a day, once in the morning and once right before bed.
I made the guy chocolate, and I made us bunnies, and I made us eat him. So that's how I got over it.
Not just thinking, but seeing the person chasing him, seeing the person turn to chocolate, and then eating the person. That's what actually helped him.
I haven't had a nightmare since.
Dr. Harris says there's no harm in trying the technique yourself. Visualize your version of your dream, and the nightmare could be over. For today, Linda Vaccaro, NBC News, New York.
Dr. Charles Sophie is a psychiatrist and author of the book Side by Side. Dr. Sophie, good morning to you.
Good morning, thank you.
You know, every kid has nightmares from time to time, so how does a parent determine when it is a real problem that needs real help?
Every child, as you said, has them. 3 to 6, the ages are the times you're going to start to see that. 50%, though, will have nightmares that really do interfere with their ability to function the next day. Like as you saw in the video, the ability to really, not really be able to stay awake, not be able to function in school. Your appetite changes, your concentration changes. So you're going to see it spilling into the next day.
Okay, so it isn't the number of nightmares necessarily you might have over the course of a week, but how they impact your life overall.
Exactly.
I was fascinated about that little boy who used this imagery rehearsal therapy, and it really rid him of the nightmare he was having. Have you seen similar results?
Absolutely. You take that dream now that you recall it the next day, and then you now replace it with a positive ending, a more controlled ending, and that gives that child that mastery and that ability to feel like, oh, I know the outcome. They have less anxiety, they go to sleep, and then when that comes up, it's a more positive outcome, less provoking.
Are there things that parents can do during the day that will help prevent a child from having nightmares when they go to sleep?
Absolutely. There's a lot that parents can do because you really want to think of it this way. You want to decompress that brain. You want to take the pressure and take it down. So having them talk about their day, making sure their day is pretty structured, that they're eating well, that they're sleeping well, that they're functioning well. You don't want a hypoglycemic child during the day who's not eating and then anxious at night. So decompress your child, have them talk, and then go to sleep calmly.
So if something is bothering them, have them discuss it before they go to bed. Maybe work it out before they go to bed.
How was your day at school? I got bullied or somebody said something bad. Talk about it to me, and what ways could it have come out differently for you so that you replace it already.
Also important to teach them good sleeping habits, I would assume.
Totally. Good sleeping is really positive on your child and on you as a family. You got to sleep at the right time. You should sleep at the, for the right amount of time. It should be a quiet time before you go to bed. Decompress yourself, your household, everything.
Okay, you have some tips for parents whose kids are suffering from nightmares. Beginning with, you say, keep a log that tracks when these nightmares occur. Is there usually a pattern?
Definitely. If you see your child having more than the average, which is maybe a couple times a month, then really take a log. Have your child give you their take of their dream. Write that down. Also look around what happened in their day before they went to sleep that night. Also look at what's going on in their life. Are they going through a breakup of a marriage, the loss of a parent, some kind of traumatic event that will cause anxiety? You'll see a pattern that is directly related to the nightmare.
You also tell parents that they need to be prepared. What do you mean by prepared?
prepared means being able to be within earshot of your child. Be aware that your child may have these, even if they've never had them. You know that they possibly could. So you want to be able to hear your child. Have a monitor available. Train your child caregiver or your nanny to be open and honest and to let them know what's going to happen and how to handle it. Because people get scared. We're adults, but we still get scared.
Which brings us to the last tip, which is to provide comfort.
Absolutely. Support, comfort, reassurance. And never tell your child that what they dreamt was, a bad thing. Have them be able to feel free to tell you what it is, because that's also releasing that pressure.
If I want to dream, forget about the nightmares. If I want to dream that I'm having my tais, whatever, it's on some beach, can I create that scenario and then make sure that I have it?
Well, you need to be able to have a dream that has been difficult for you to work with. So maybe instead of being chased down the street, you're chasing Matt down the beach for a Mai Tai.
Chasing Matt down the beach? I don't think so, Doctor. There's certain nightmares I don't want to go to. Dr. Charles Sophie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now here's